Hi everyone, it is my pleasure to introduce a book that has helped me a lot in my life. A few years ago, before I started this ascension, I was still working in the archaeology field, and it's a very tough uh, environment, especially for women. And when you live 9 months a year abroad in an African country and you work with men and you need to learn about the language and everything, it's very challenging. And as a woman, you may be triggered a lot to lose confidence because it's very hard. So that's a book that I had taken with me in my suitcase. And I was reading it every day, a little bit, sometimes, not every day, but times to times, every day or so. And it has really helped me go through all these years without losing it. This book I recommend is The Four Agreements. What are the Four Agreements? This book has been written by Miguel Ruiz. Miguel Ruiz is this man. And this is inspired from the ancient Toltec wisdom from South America. So this book is about breaking your barriers of lack of confidence, of doubts. It's helping you taking over your emotional chaos, your fears, your uncertainties, your challenges. Um, I will tell you what it is about. It is about four suggested agreements suggested by the elders of the Toltec civilization, South America. And these four agreements are as such: be impeccable with your word, do not take anything personally, do not make any assumptions, and always do your best. So what is it about? What do the ancient Toltec say about that? Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Second agreement, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say or do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be victim of needless suffering. Third agreement, do not make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. This little book is lovely, times to times. When it called you, I have so many books on my shelves. Sometimes one book just calls up to me. It's like if they have their life of their own consciousness. Maybe there's little leprechauns in my shelves as well, which I would suspect strongly living in Ireland. Sometimes your guides, all the little leprechauns, guide you to, hey, there's a message in this book for you today. Hey, grab it, open, a random page that we open for you, and there's a message for you. And today I said, this book is calling me because there's a message for humanity in it. There's a message for those who will watch this video. So this is a message for you who are watching today, in this very moment. This is the message you need to hear. This book is a collection of little metaphorical stories. And the one today I picked for you especially is called The Smoky Mirror. "3,000 years ago, there was a human just like you and me, who lived near a city surrounded by mountains. The human was studying to become a medicine man, to learn the knowledge of his ancestors. But he didn't completely agree with everything he was learning. In his heart, he felt there must be something more. One day, as he slept in a cave, he dreamt that he saw his own body sleeping. He came out of the cave on the night of a new moon. The sky was clear, and he could see millions of stars. Then something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands. He felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, "I am made of light. I am made of stars." He looked at the stars again, and he realized that it's not the stars that create light, but rather light that creates the stars. "Everything is made of light," he said, "and the space in between isn't empty." And he knew that everything that exists in one living being, and that light is the messenger of life, because it is alive and contained all information. Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. "I am in between the stars," he thought. So he called the stars the tonal, and the light between the stars the nagual. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life, or intent. The tonal and the nagual could not exist without life. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living thing that some call God or Source. Everything is Source. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light, he said. This realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything, in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, in the clouds, in the earth. And he saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagual in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited, and his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered. But there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell the others, but they could not understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. They noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. They believed that he was an incarnation of God. He smiled when he heard that and he said, "It is true, I am God, but you are also God. We are the same, you and I. We are images of light. We are God." But still the people didn't understand him. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people. A mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, he said. He saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there is a wall. There was a wall of fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of the images of light, the dream of humans. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he had learned. He wanted to remember all the visions he had had, so he decided to call himself the Smoky Mirror, so that he would always know that matter is a mirror, and the smoke in between is what keeps us from knowing what we are. He said, "I am the smoky mirror, because I am looking at myself in all of you. But we don't recognize each other because of the smoke in between us. That smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer." The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. I recommend this little book. It has been a guide to myself, as many other books have been guides. Do not forget to read, and I would advise to have physical books. I hold Michael Sala's collection here, Tony Rodriguez, a lot of, Gods of Eden. I have plenty of interesting books. Well, books are guides. They are little leprechauns on a shelf that are waiting for you to pick them and hear the message. So do not make these little leprechauns sad. Read books. They carry spirit. And books like that have a lot of spirit to share. I love you. Enjoy a good read today.